Bienvenido a la Vida, Lindsay. What's happening, good people? This week is 1 week prior to Mestre Recruta's Batizado in Hayward, California. So it's time for me to put in some work and preparation. I've been training all year long, but this weekend before is really critical just to make sure I feel strong, my mind is ready, my body is ready, spirit is in tune, all those things. And so we're starting off with a Saturday workout at a new location here. You see the kids are here with me. Let's put in the work.
That's easy, Dad. Try this one. Dad, this is for balance, right?
So
Alright, so it's about 5:31 a.m. I'm at the airport. My flight leaves in about 35 minutes. Or at least the boarding process will start in 35 minutes. My flight doesn't leave until about 6:54, which is about another hour and 20 minutes from here. But it's been a really solid week in preparation to go to the Batizado in Hayward, California. My first flight is from Antigua to Miami. I'm in Miami for 8 hours. Yes, 8 hours. Not really sure what I'm going to do yet. I have some work and some writing and things to do, but that's a long time to be in an airport. So I'm going to see how this plays out once I get to Miami. This week leading up to the Batizado, I try to do things that, one, keep my training moving forward. I do a little bit of training, but I try to keep it as light as possible because over the week of a Batizado, it can be very, very strenuous, to say the least. It's tough. You have a lot of classes that you take. You're training for maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 hours on some days. And so I try to get some rest leading up to it. So this past weekend, I went to the park with the kids. I did some stretching in the park. I did like a yoga routine. And then on Monday, I went and I taught my class. I did some training in the morning by myself. Light training, not as full out as I would normally do. And then I had my class in the evening where I taught the students at the university. Jinga, jinga. So I try to relieve some of the intensity of my training leading up to the week of the Batizado, because it is tough and I'm expecting it to be tough. So I'm all set, you know, now at this point I feel good. My marriage advice for this week is just to make sure that when you're leaving to go out of town, that you are sure to give everyone the hugs, the kisses, and you tell everybody that you love them. This morning before I left, Emery woke up before I walked out the door, and he was crying about me leaving, and so, you know, I gave him a hug, told him I loved him, and did the same thing for my wife. So she wasn't crying. She wasn't crying this morning. I just, you know, told her I loved her, and you know, that I'll miss her, and I'll see you when I get back from this event. So my marriage advice is never leave the house angry, especially when you're going out of town, because you never know what can happen. And so in order to keep things tight at the house, make sure you say your goodbyes in a proper way. All right? Peace and blessings. Have a good week, y'all.